Hi, this is Nick Beat of nickbeathowl.com and also 89.5 FM on your dial and www.ciut.fm on the worldwide internet. And we are here on a Saturday afternoon recording an interview with Michael Marian. And where we are is on Main Street, in front of the Main Street Library in East York. And welcome, and hope you enjoy this interview. I just want to welcome everybody to this show. This is actually our first show, so it's a virgin birth. It's coming forth at you, and hope you enjoy it. Michael, welcome to the show. How are you doing?
Oh, not bad.
Bye. Just want to talk to you about your recording career. Right now, you've done something really. Michael's done something very interesting, which is you're putting together sort of a Michael Marian Unplugged, which is 3 or 4 songs that you're going to be putting out, I assume, on a, I forget what you call it. What do you call it? A key?
Oh, I don't know. I'll utilize all the buses. We'll just wait for the fire truck to go by.
Is it happening again already?
No.
It just seems that there's fire trucks every 5 seconds go by here for donut run or something. Something or other. To get milk.
Because they have to interrupt the poker game over there.
Yeah.
So it's, I'm calling it Raw, Michael Marian Raw. It's, the idea came from the producer, Mitch Girio, MitchGirio.com. He's been producing my stuff for a number of years now, and he wanted to, we've been struggling with production, struggling with sound, I'm sure everybody does, and he just got the idea. It's kind of flattering. He just said, let's just focus on, just take the songs, key them in the lower register of your voice, which he calls milk chocolate range, and melted chocolate. And he said, we're just going to capture the songs on acoustic guitar, so live, almost pretty much live off the floor, and just capture the songs, the voice, the words.
Okay. What's the studio that he runs? What's it called? It's got an unusual name.
Slaughterhouse.
And why is it called the Slaughterhouse, Michael?
Because it's in a building on Queen Street near Broadview that was a slaughterhouse, a meat house. So we record where cows were disemboweled. It's kind of like the artist. We're disemboweling ourselves on record in front of a microphone.
Sort of. That's a creaky metaphor, but I'll live with it.
Not as violent.
This is Nick Beat, as I said, and we're talking to Michael Marian, who's a singer-songwriter, also graphic art designer, artist, and he also has a working sort of relationship, singer-songwriter-wise, with your daughter.
Oh, that's right.
Which is another story.
Haley Jen.
Haley Jen. Can I just briefly ask you about that? How did that originate?
Got her guitar lessons and started helping her along. She wanted to do it, but it wasn't developing as kids struggle to play, to practice. And so I thought, to make it fun, let's just write a song. It'd be about the song, and of course I've always nurtured her creativity, and I thought, working with words, she always writes me letters, and so we just started working on that, and after an hour and a half of recording like 8 or 9 takes of the song, after we finished writing it, all within an afternoon, she practiced for a good solid hour, so it was really doing the job of getting her guitar chops together. And then we put it on YouTube just for fun.
Which is cool.
And the next thing is her family really liked it, and she shared it, which is normal. All parents and family will love it. But her mom felt confident enough to call her school teacher, and her school teacher played it for her classmates. And the great part of the story is that my daughter's petite. She's smaller than most of the kids, and she's got that small kid kind of complex happening. But so instead of being persecuted, when they went to the library recently, the kids were saying, "I want to be on Haley's on Haley's group," because when they saw the performance, they loved it. They were singing her song. It's called "Bad Dog." You can Google. You can go to. You can go to YouTube and search for Michael Marian A. Michael Marian A. And you'll see the Bad Dog comes up there, and so it was a good process. That's the story.
That's the story, and we'll expand on that on another show. As I said, this is Nick Beat of nickbeathowl.com. Howl is the show.
You can see yourself.
And half of myself, but that's fine. So long as we got you, you're the focus here.
All right.
I am just the disembodied voice that is on the other side of this. Michael, to get back to the rough cut, as you say, this will be a 4-song... Raw.
The raw tracks.
Raw tracks. This will be like a 4-song key. Now, what's a key?
Just a USB key. They're making them really small now, and so you get the smallest one. They're cheap enough that you can just put your tracks on there. You put some video recordings, so you can get a lot of information on there, and people can just plug it in their computers and distribute it off the
What's the
shelf.
size roughly?
Oh, it's size of just the end of your little finger.
Okay. Let's talk about your lyrics. Who are your big influences lyrically for your own music?
That's pretty easy. I'd say, normally a lot of guys will say John Lennon, right?
Yeah.
And
Sure.
But really it was Neil Young first, because I wasn't really aware of John Lennon's lyrics. Actually, I think it was later that I really got to become aware of Lennon's later material, especially the Primal Scream recordings.
Yeah.
That's when his lyrics really started to really show themselves, the power. And but Neil Young's words and melody, he's a tenor, so he's definitely not in my range, but I'm a baritone, but yeah, that's lyrically just the imagery that Neil Young put across.
Would you say any poets or poetry has had any impact on your songwriting and or lyrics? Content-wise, subject matter, form, at all, or no?
It's funny, the earliest poet I can remember knowing about. Poetry for me was lyric, in the day when we were growing up, it was pulling out. You would sit with the album, you'd open it up. It's it's a substantial piece of real estate, and you pull out the sleeve, you put the record on, you keep the sleeve out because the lyrics are on there, and you'd be studying the lyrics.
True.
Whether it was Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin, or it's the Rolling Stones or the Beatles, and or Neil Young. Admiring the artwork, looking at the imagery, reading the lyrics. That was what I would call my first exposure to poetry.